All right, we got some new guidance about the ACFT. Things have changed. I'm going to make sure to give you all the relevant information. Actually reading through the guidance, not just some memes. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Bro, you know you can stop doing that.
I like to work out.
Fucking Rangers. All right, you probably already know the leg tuck is out. Fine. That might be all you know, though, because if you're anything like me, you haven't read the guidance. You're just following along with whatever meme has been posted. So I'm going to help break it down, something that you can share with your soldiers, something that you can have for yourself to be able to know what the heck is up. I mean, yes, there's that one event that's changed, but also what are the deadlines? What are the deadlines for both active duty and for reserve component soldiers as far as diagnostics having to be done and when it starts actually counting for things like school? What's your minimum? What's your maximum? Based on your gender, based on your age. Yes, you could go into the guidance yourself, find out exactly what it is for you. But if you want a quick breakdown, I'm going to give it to you. And also, there's some updates on alternate events, things like temporary profiles and how those are going to work out. So let's go ahead and get into it. Wait a second. No. You haven't subscribed yet? And where's my lead? I got recruiters to feed. You know that guy that you talked to at work that send me his info. It's not hard. First part is preparation. So they have to conduct a diagnostic to standard ACFT prior to the 30th of September 2022 for active duty and AGR. And for the M-Day soldiers, you have to be given a 2 standard diagnostic ACFT for you to identify exactly where you're at before the 31st of March in 2023. Now, I would anticipate that your unit's going to be doing it a little more often than just one time prior to these dates, but the key is it has to be done to standard. One of the things that you'll find in the guidance though is that if you pass that diagnostic, you can have it counted as a for record even prior to the deadlines and the dates as they continue to start. Now, the actual for record PT tests for both active and M-Day have to be conducted by April 1st. Of course, they picked April Fool's Day. Why wouldn't they? By 2023 for active and 2024 for M-Day reserve component. Now, if you're looking at going to school, understand that passing ACFT is going to be part of the requirements if that graduation date is after the 1st of October, 2022. That's this year. So if you're going to basic training in the IT, or if you're going to an NCOES school and it's going to have a 1059 that is going to require a PT test along with it, it's going to be an ACFT, and you're going to need to make sure that you're prepped and ready for that. You can start to receive for record PT tests after the 1st of October for the active duty side, and after the date of April 1st, 2023. So if it's a for record PT test done to standard and it is announced as for record, that can cause you to be flagged. So you need to start prepping now. ACFT is still going to be 6 events. The only thing that's been changed out is the plank, but the scoring is what has really changed. We're going to get into just being able to see a minimum, a maximum, and a mid-range for anybody that's younger than me, which should be most of you. So for the deadlift, it's obviously measured in pounds, 340 for the males for a max, and 140 for the minimum standard for 60 points. And that stays, those minimums stay consistent across the board, but that maximum varies a little as you get older. You can see that there's kind of a standard of if it requires muscle and power, those are things that can sometimes increase with that age group of the 22 to 27, 31 time frame, but then they start to drop off again as you continue to get older. So you see your minimum maximums there, both for males and for females. You can see that it bumps up a little bit as you get into that midlife crisis range, but then as you start to get over the hill, it starts to go back down because they know how it is. Hand release push-ups, the minimum is easy to be able to remember. It's 10 straight across the board for both males and for females. Now, it's a little bit higher for the max on the for males, It does bump up a little bit as you get into that mid-range, and then starts to decline back down for those maximums, both for males and for females. Now for the sprint drag carry, the minimums for males is right there in the 2 minutes and 30 to 40 seconds time frame. And for females, minimum 3 minutes and 15 seconds to 3.5 minutes. Those maximums you can see where it gives you a little bit more time as you continue to increase in age. Only a few seconds though. I could have used, no, that still would have been maxing. All right, here's the new standard. Now, it turns out there are differences between males and females, but not when it comes to intestinal fortitude. The standards are the same across the board. And you can see that the minimums and maximums do start to drop off as you get older. Both the minimums and the maximums, the amount of time that you need to maintain that plank gets better with age, like fine wine. Mile run is pretty consistent with the APFT, except for that minimum. You get a lot more time. I mean, understand though that when you're coming to that minimum, you're going to have done a sprint drag carry. You're going to have done a deadlift. Your muscles are going to be a little more burned out. So make sure that you're actually prepping for the ACFT by doing a leg workout and then going for a run, which is a lot of fun. Now, if you are on a permanent profile, not a temporary profile, a permanent profile that is in your record, it will actually identify what type of alternate events or what events that you are not able to do. Now, you have to earn that permanent profile, and they're not fun to earn. So these are some of the alternate events that are available that are currently offered. So a 2.5 mile walk has been added as an alternate event to the cardio. You can see where the minimum standards are. That's pretty across the board. And then there's also the 12-kilometer bike that is also available, and the 5-kilometer row. I didn't put down the times for the swim. If you are somebody that swims, look it up. I don't know anybody that swims, but I think I do. Dang it. Should have put down the swim. Now, if you're swimming, please put that down in the comments. I'm interested in actually hearing about that. I've actually read over the guidance for temporary profiles, and I still do not understand it. So if you've read through the actual guidance, you can go and find it online and see what you make of this temporary profile piece. So hopefully you take advantage of this information, realize how important it's going to be to try to get a passing full record ACFT on your record as soon as possible. So that way you can have those promotion points that are going to be important for being able to get to that next level, being able to achieve that next rank, being able to distinguish yourself amongst your peers. And I'm interested in finding out what you think. What do you think about dropping the leg tug? What do you think about it being gender normed now and distinguished for those that are more distinguished? You know, those with the graying hair. Is it fair? Is it okay? I'm not going to tell you what I think. I'm going to keep that to myself. Actually, what I